Yes, guys. Ryjack back for another live stream, another video. Today, we're back for a late night stream. Have some fun. Talk about City making it back to Wembley. Talk about Liverpool and anything else you guys are interested. Of course, Talsif in the chat says, "Yo, what's up, man?" Gold Drips is in the chat. Will we see a double pivot of Rodri and Nico G? Talsif is ready immediately with the questions, man. Good question. I don't know. I don't know. We can definitely do a lineup prediction here. I think I do lean toward a Rodri and Nico G double pivot for this one specifically. Um, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure because where does that leave Nico O'Reilly? Where does that leave? Well, I guess actually that's the only question, isn't it? Nico O'Reilly in the midfield has been playing well. Has he been good enough to be there over Nico Gier, over Rodri? I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that question. But I think it's a fair question, and we can definitely look at the lineup builder here in a bit. Do you think we should play Kusanov a left back? No. No, I do not like that idea. No. I like the idea of Ike Nori left back getting very far forward, and then Gay can just come over and cover if need be. I don't think Huzanov left back is a good idea personally. Huzanov versus Salah. Yeah, I mean Salah doesn't really worry me. He's not having a good season, guys. I'm not too worried about that. Wrong time for Bernardo to get injured. He was playing well. He was unfortunately playing very well. And he does, he picks up steam in big games. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for sure, but it is what it is. It is what it is. We'll see. We'll see over here. Score prediction? Oof, brutal. Not confident at the moment, but we'll save the score prediction for a bit when we get onto it. Diaz Gehi says the Mancunian way. Shout out to Martin, by the way. I think he just got off stream himself. So, whoa, my camera just zoomed in. Very weird. That was weird. I don't like that. But do we go right back to Diaz, man? I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure. Diaz goes right back in, starting at Anfield. I feel like no. Personally. Just my opinion. I think Kusanov's been doing a good job. Gay's obviously going to start the game. But does that mean Diaz just comes right back in? I don't know. I don't think I like that idea, personally. You guys let me know what you think, but I am not 100% on Diaz right back in immediately. Like, maybe if he had come on against Newcastle, I would have been interested in that, but he didn't. He didn't feature at all. Hard to say. Maybe Pep can give us some insight in the presser coming up for sure and let us know some thoughts. But I would say that seems a bit aggressive. Talsif says yes. Back four of Nunez, Diaz, Gehi, O'Reilly. Dang, interesting. Nunez versus Gakpo and O'Reilly versus Salah. I don't mind this back four. I don't mind it. 3-2 Liverpool? No, I will not predict a loss. No, sir. I cannot have that in my stream, guys. We rested Ruben Diaz for the Newcastle game, but the rumors and the reports where he was always targeting this Liverpool game to return. So, I mean, maybe. Would Gavardiol be straight back in, though? I don't know. I feel like in general we don't straight back in someone via the history of players coming back from injuries. I want to know how many times they don't make a sub appearance before a start. I would guess typically they make a sub appearance. Maybe it's different with defenders than attackers because attackers, you come on, you can get the ball and do stuff, I guess, going forward, change the game a little bit. I'm not sure. Do you think we need to play transitional style or play more possession based? I think they will thrive with the high line. Potentially. More transitional. I don't know because it's going to be at Liverpool. I feel like in general we might have a little bit less of the ball as is at Liverpool. But again, I haven't watched Liverpool a whole ton this year, so I don't know if they tend to be overly possession heavy, overly ball dominant, like, or would they let us just do they want to sit back and counter us? I'm not entirely sure. Personally, I'm not entirely sure. He said, bro. Thanks for mod. Smash the likes all. If new, subscribe to road to 1K. Yes, sir, guys. Yes, sir, guys. 1K is on the way. If you are new, hit subscribe. I do appreciate it, as always. Big appreciate the support on the channel. Evening Blues. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. House Captain. Good to see you. Liverpool will dominate City. Need to capitalize on the mistakes. I hope Pep doesn't play the high line. I don't like this idea of getting dominated, guys. Generally, Pep subs them a game, then throws them back in. Unfair if it happens on Husa 100%, but who said this game was fair? True, the game is not fair. The game is not fair. So if Pep thinks Ruben Diaz is fit and ready and gives us a better chance to win versus what Husa provides, and he thinks Diaz and Gehi is the best option, then I'm all for it. I'm fine. Who am I to question our manager there? Husa's been very good. But the suggestion that he plays left back from someone earlier, I don't see that. I don't see that. Depends on which style he plays. If high line, then Husa, and if counterattacking, then Diaz. That's a fair point. Which style? I think it's going to be the 4-2-2 that we've been employing recently, and I am guessing it's going to be a high line. Just my take. That's kind of what Pep does. That's what I think we're going to get. Keely says, "Good to see you. What's up, buddy? How are you?" Magnus, hope you are well. Yes, sir. Good to see you. We got to beat them in the first half and defend for our lives in the second half. True, Omar. I mean, first half, if we just get 3 goals in the first half and we can concede 2 in the second, I will take it. I will take it. We don't score goals in the second half, unfortunately. But who knows? Who knows? Personally, I wouldn't mind any one of them. I'm happy with both. Okay. Marmouche doesn't start. I'll go to Anfield and give Pep and Slot wigs. Doing well. Still need to watch the show from earlier. I also need to watch the show from earlier. I will watch that one probably tomorrow. I want to see Marmouche and Haaland. That's kind of what I'm leaning toward. I don't think we're going to be able to see Marmouche, Haaland, and Semenyo. I think it's probably 2 of those 3. That's my, in general, thought. I don't know that if we're going to run this 4-2-2 that you're going to see Marmouche and Haaland up top as the dual strikers, whatever you want to call it, the most advanced players, and then Semenyo in that 10 role. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think that's going to happen. It'll probably be, I think Haaland and Marmouche probably is the front 2, and then it's Reinders and Cherky in behind. Then we can have the discussion of what you do with like the back line and the base of the midfield. Is it Nico G and Rodri? Is it Nico G and Nico O'Reilly? Do we do Nico squared situation? Do we go Rodri for the big game? No Bernardo. So I don't know. Big up. Yes, sir. Big up the chat. Said it before. The way this season's going, you can't rule out City winning. You can't rule us out winning. That is true. I wouldn't count on it, but you can't rule it out. Marmouche is back. If you don't agree, I don't care. Interesting. Cool. I'm happy with Marmouche starting. I would definitely start Marmouche in this one. I think the debate is probably between Semenyo and Haaland, and most likely just going to play Haaland because you do. You just play Haaland. Showed some new rules implemented now. No more playing around and emotional takes. Yes, sir. Front 4 of Semenyo, Haaland, Cherky, Marmouche. See, this one I don't see, guys. I don't see that. Unfortunately. Don't think Semenyo can play in the middle, particularly. Music to my ears. What is it with Foden? Everyone hates him now with Haaland. I don't know if everyone hates him. Everyone is a general term, which I don't like. But there are Foden haters out there. There are those who don't think he can get back to his best and think it's best if we, for some reason, just sell him, which I don't get. Foden has clearly enough credit in the bank to, even based on this season, he's still having a decent season stats-wise. I know it's not great right now, maybe production-wise, maybe not G&A-wise, but he's still a valuable member of the squad. I think people are probably overreacting a bit, which Shocker. People overreact. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Semenyo will play because he caused Kirkez a lot of problems last time. Maybe he will. I just don't know if we're going to run this 4-2-2 if you can play all three of them. God, here, yes, sir. Foden being groomed to be the new Bernardo, and many expect him to be a 10. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of rumors on Twitter of City looking for the new Bernardo replacement, and I'm one that considers that Elliot Anderson. But if it ends up being Phil, and we can use that Anderson money to strengthen elsewhere, then cool. Then cool. But I do personally like it when Foden is contributing in terms of G&A. Maybe that's a basic take from me that I like it when players are scoring goals and whatnot, and maybe I need to be thinking more in depth about it than Foden scoring goals means Foden's playing well, because that's not necessarily true. Semenyo scored in the Spurs game, and he was pretty poor. So who knows? Who knows? Big up Ryjack, says Ash Kuhn. What's up, buddy? How are you? Good to see you as always. I hate this 4-1-4-1. I think it's a 4-2-2-2. I kind of like it personally, but to each his own. What's your prediction for the Liverpool game? Ooh. Everybody wants to know what we're going to do in this Liverpool game. I might as well just pull up the Liverpool preview, guys. I was gonna do this whole let's talk about this Newcastle game, but it seems like nobody cares about this Newcastle game. Everybody just wants to know what's going on with Liverpool. Some show their understanding of the game with their takes on Bernie and Phil's role recently. People won't like this, but if it ever becomes a straight fight between Haaland and Marmoush, there is only one winner in Pep and club's eyes. That is facts. Haaland is he's the biggest name at the club. He's the biggest presence at the club. He's the biggest money earner at the club in terms of the revenue he brings. He's the biggest superstar at the club, probably ever, to be honest. I mean, is he bigger than KDB in terms of talent? Maybe not, but in terms of global reach, I think Haaland is probably the biggest superstar we've ever had. So you kind of are in the situation where he's gonna play. And I would be one that, of course, I'm backing Haaland to play. I want him to play 38 games and have 40 goals in the Premier League and be the best striker the Premier League's ever seen. But what's the best way to achieve that? I think we probably played him a bit too much. Even when he was playing well, he could have used maybe coming off at 60, maybe not starting some games, which I know people don't like to say, but man management, I think, could be improved from Pep and the staff this season, personally. I think some better man management maybe would leave some more gas in the tank currently, while we maybe sacrifice some wins in October, November, December. We may be playing better now, which it's obviously more important to play better at the latter end of the season. Foden's still only 25. He's young enough to learn new attributes, but those are some small but also big boots to fill. True, harsh reality, yeah. Pep said in October 23, he sees Phil in a deeper role once he becomes a more team player, and 2 years on, here we are. Coincidence? Yeah, I do remember when we talked about it on the stream, Foden's deeper role is definitely splitting opinion. I think some people can see it as Foden playing well. Some people don't like it. I do think it's fair to say he's not had a great 2026 so far. I think that's fair, at least to the standards of Phil Foden that I think we can hope for. If you asked Phil, have you been playing well? I think he'd probably say no, but that doesn't mean he was not going to get back. Hard fought 3-2-W. I like it. I like Phil deep. We've only ever seen him advance, and to see him deeper, he's doing the basics brilliantly. This is why I'm such a big Bernardo fan. The basics are key. Sounds like Fabian Delph over here. Just do the basics. That's a bad British accent from me, but you guys get the point. Stick to the basics. Husanov Ekitike is like Haaland versus Van Dijk. Ooh, I don't know if I would say Husanov is Van Dijk yet, or if Ekitike is Haaland yet, but I get the sentiment. Foden's already played in 5 positions. He's well on his way. You need players like this to do the basics, keep the team clicking. Personally disappointed with Foden. I think he should be the stone wall of the new Man City along with Haaland. Ooh. Who do you think should be the next captain? After Bernardo? Good question. Good question. I would probably give it to Ruben Diaz, potentially. Potentially Ruben Diaz. He seems like the biggest leader type. I would ideally like it to be Erling Haaland, but I don't know if he actually has that leadership type that is captain material, unfortunately. It does feel much more like a Diaz thing. A Diaz thing or a Rodri thing, but who knows if Rodri's staying. I would like a captain who's going to be here for a while, by the way. I'm kind of over the new captain every other year or so. Like we had Bernardo this year, Gundogan before that, we had KDB, we had Fernandinho. Like it feels like we haven't had a long-term captain for some time. I think he does the deep role brilliantly. If City played a double pivot of Nico, G, and Rodri, would these two cook with each other? I think yes. I think yes in this 4-2-2, but some people don't like the 4-2-2. LOL, Delphi. I'm sorry, guys. My British accent ain't it. My Manc accent, wherever Delph is from. Maybe he's not from. I don't know where Delph is from. I'm not that deep in the ball knowledge of where players are from and the accents of England. They all sound the same to me, except for the Liverpool accent, to be honest with you guys. Pretty much every British accent sounds basically the same to me, bar Liverpool and Newcastle. Those ones I'm like, okay, I know that's a Scouser accent and I know the Newcastle accent, but everyone else basically sounds the same. Rodri for me, 100% Diaz or Rodri, depending on the situation. Yeah, I'd be fine with Rodri, but if he wants to leave, maybe not. I found Bernie's role in recent seasons as one of a free role when Pep has granted him license to go where the team need is in real time. Very trusting. True. Bernardo is all over the pitch. I remember one of the games, Bernardo was getting, some slag from fans, and Martin had put it in the group chat. He was like, Bernardo is everywhere. And he was at the game. So, trust the eyes. You can see more when you're at the game than you do on TV sometimes. Bernardo was all over the place. After Ilkay left the first time, it should have been KDB, but it was given to Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker, probably not the best captain in our history. Probably not the best captain. Great player, legendary right back, best right back in Premier League history, but not the best Man City captain, unfortunately. When KDB left, it should have been Diaz. Name someone else who does this, Magnus. No one. Love our Bernie. True, man, true. Which midfielder would you sign out of Anderson, Wharton, Baleba, or keep Rodri, maybe a cheeky swap of Valverde, or Ayoub Buati? That is quite a bit of this, or this in this comment here, Mastermind. I would sign out of the three, probably Elliot Anderson, because I think he's more versatile over Adam Wharton, and Baleba's been poor this year, so probably not Baleba. He seems more like I don't want to say one season wonder, but his stocks, the Baleba stocks are down. Keep Rodri. I would keep Rodri and still probably sign Elliot Anderson anyway. Anderson can be the Kovacic/Bernardo replacement if we go that way. But if you are talking Valverde, I would definitely have Valverde at the club over probably any midfielder alive, I would say. And Ayoub Buati, I'll be honest, I have no idea who that is. I've heard his name in the chat before, but sorry, I got no clue. No one, not even KDB, was afforded this role. Yeah, KDB was not necessarily in this Bernardo role, for sure. We really don't have to talk about this Newcastle game, guys, if we don't want to. I mean, it was very basically over within the first 10 minutes, if not by the end of the first half. I know some people are a bit upset with the second half, but I feel like people should chill a bit with the second half upsetness in this Newcastle game. The game was over. It was 5-0 aggregate. Like, we weren't capitulating a 5-0 lead. So, I think it is what it is, second half. Yeah. And we also could have scored a few in the second half as well. People kind of they just think about this portion of the game right here where Newcastle scored. They scored another that was offsides, and they had a couple other opportunities, and they forget about this last 15, 20 minutes where Holland could have scored two, Reinders could have scored one. It could have been an 8-1 aggregate situation, but I don't know. I feel like very happy that we're beating Newcastle here and going to Wembley. I wish I was going. If I got to go to England for a game, it would be pretty cool to go to Wembley and see us win a trophy, but I would probably go Etihad still for like a Prem game or Champions League game if I was choosing. I prefer to play Phil in other positions. In an emergency, he can play there, left back or left wing back. Whoa! Now he plays his natural position behind the striker. The point is, don't take Pep seriously in press. True, Pep in the pressers is a known, maybe not the best idea to take at face value what he says. Would you prefer Marmoush or Alvarez? I think Alvarez is probably a better player than Marmoush. Neither are having great seasons this year. Unfortunately, Alvarez has been pretty poor this year. But last year, Marmoush was great for us. I would probably say, on the whole, Alvarez is better. Alvarez deep, like an attacking midfielder, deeper than Holland, didn't really work. Alvarez on the wing also didn't really work. Maybe Marmoush can play with Holland better. So, who do I prefer in the City team with Holland? Maybe Marmoush. But picking between the two, I'd probably pick Alvarez, if that makes sense. Maybe. I understand why Pep didn't do it, but I was hoping to see Naipan for a few minutes. Bro, I was dying to see Naipan. I love when we sign young up-and-comers, and I want them in the team. It's like my weakness, which sounds weird, I know, but I would have loved to see Naipan get some minutes. I would have loved to see McAdoo get some minutes. At halftime at 5-0, I tweeted, bring Naipan and McAdoo on now, and we didn't get to see him at all. So I was sad with that. And I don't really get why we didn't do it, to be honest with you. I get that, technically the game wasn't over, and I'm not the one in training. I haven't seen Naipan and McAdoo train. Maybe they're way, way off it, and it could have led to an absolute disaster. I get that. But we bought Naipan for, 10 mil. McAdoo looked very good in his one appearance. I know it was Exeter, and Exeter are awful. But 5-0. You got 9 other senior players out there. Surely we've been all right. Yeah, agreed. Maybe a couple of minutes in a comfortable game if that's an opportunity. I just want to see what they can do. I just want to get eyes on them. I'm not saying I think they're going to be the next Messi, like some people have done with Echeverri, but my point is, I think us, the fans, getting an eye on them, it's just cool. It's just cool. That doesn't mean I think he's going to be world class or anything. I just want to see what we got. Give me 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. I take Alvarez, but that doesn't mean Marmoush is bad. Yeah, Marmoush is not a bad footballer by any means. I wish he had a bit better first touch, but finishing-wise, he's up there with Alvarez for sure. Maybe versus Salford, that would be awesome. Good shout. Cherky cameo was fire. Cherky was outstanding in his, whatever he got, 20, 15 minutes. Crazy, techie baller, big-time skill that got the crowd going, even though there wasn't really a crowd there, which I've heard that is sad, but I am sorry I cannot contribute to the butts in seats. That's not really my role here, guys. As an international fan in the United States, I cannot make games. So I support from my chair right here. Even if it's just an appearance, doesn't have to start. That's what I mean. Yeah, I would love just an appearance here and there. Mikel Arteta, future City manager. I don't know where you're getting your information, but there's a 3-man shortlist reportedly, and he ain't on it. Who knows if this shortlist is correct, but I would be pretty shocked if Arteta was a City manager. I don't see that at all. Techie baller. Exactly, guys, exactly. Anyway, if we talk about Liverpool, and we're looking at the Premier League table here, quite obviously, this is essentially a must-win game. Probably wouldn't have been had we taken care of business against Spurs if we had figured out a way to save the 3 points in that game. We'd be sitting on 49, 4 back. You get to 50, and let's assume Liverpool win against Sunderland with 6 back with 13 to go. It's not a great spot to be in, but it's definitely not over. If we come away with this game the loss and Arsenal win, it's 9. Again, it's not mathematically over, but I don't think anybody's going to be very confident in that. So a win here gets us to that 6-point cushion, 6-point margin, I should say, assuming Arsenal take care of business against Sunderland, who are kind of not performing greatly. 2 wins in their last 5, 1 against Burnley, 1 against Crystal Palace, 3-0 loss to Brentford, 3-1 to West Ham. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it's basically a must-win in terms of title race contention, but some people are of the opinion it's better to not worry about the title race at this point, with it being 6, potentially 9 points. If we just sit back and chill a bit and enjoy the wins when they come, maybe that's a better way to support at the moment as a fan, because this roller coaster of we're back, we're trash, we're back, we're trash, I don't like. I'm not enjoying it at all. I'm not enjoying the roller coaster we're on currently. Do you think Pep will go full throttle and he will be happy with a draw? Personally, I would go for win instead of a draw. Yeah, I don't think you can just be happy with a draw. I think you got to go for the win in this one. Maybe Pep parks the bus like we did at Arsenal. Just don't let us slip up. Maybe if we go ahead in the game, we could see something like that. But I don't see how we can go for the draw in this one. This has to be a win if we care about winning the Premier League. Will Cherky be available? I don't see why he won't be. He played against Newcastle, so my impression is he would be available for sure. If you go table, last 5, Liverpool are doing slightly better on goal difference for us. Neither of us doing great in our last 5. It's been poor relatively in the table that way. If you look at home for Liverpool, I mean, they're actually not great at home this year. 7 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. Anfield did really used to be a fortress where, Van Dijk never lost a game. Remember, that was a thing for quite a long time. And they've been bad this year. They've not been up to standards of what you would expect Liverpool to be, especially with the money they spent and the players they bought, really. They lost, let's see, when's their last couple of home games in the Prem? They drew at home to Burnley, drew to Arsenal, drew to Leeds. Who's beating them at home? PSV beat them. Forest beat them 3-0. Wow. So yeah, I mean, it's not impossible, guys. I know the record is really bad. It's like 3 wins and 39 appearances, something like that, but it's not impossible. It is Sunday. I will do a live watch along as well for the game on Sunday. So do come back, chill on the channel. Sunday morning for me, evening for you guys over in the UK. Will be fun, assuming we could potentially, get a win. That'd be pretty cool. Been a feed-up season for the No Standards crew. Who do you think City's second greatest of all time is? Ooh. The greatest of all time is quite obviously KDB. Second, I might go with Haaland, to be honest with you guys. Like, Haaland has the goal record for a Premier League season, which might sound crazy because footballing-wise, he's obviously not better than like Aguero or David Silva or Rodri, but goals are the hardest thing to do when he's got the Premier League record. It's hard not to put him up there. But if you're talking like individual talent, maybe like David Silva, KDB, David Silva, something like that. Our defense versus Liverpool: Donnarumma, Nunez, Diaz, Gay, O'Reilly, Rodri, and Nico G. Interesting. Maybe. I think there's going to be a heist. A goal heist. Both defense collapse under pressure. Maybe. Should we look at the lineup builder and just do a a build out of the squad for this Liverpool game. We're 30 minutes in? We might as well do it. I think obviously Donnarumma will start, although I do want to shout out James Trafford, who had a pretty good game. Had a pretty good game against Newcastle, but is that enough to start a Premier League game? I'm going to go with no. Donnarumma gets the start pretty clearly, I think. Nunez is an obvious no-doubter, and I think Gehi is an obvious... Whoa, I can't spell. Gehi is an obvious no-doubter as well. This spot is questionable to me. I'm not sure what you do. Liverpool are not playing bad currently. It's going to be a tough one. They're not playing bad currently, but they have so far in the Prem this year been not up to snuff at home, I would say. I'm so disappointed in City. Now we are 6 back, might be cooked. Premier League-wise, it's possible, but this game is big. If we win this one, it actually will be 4 from the 2 against Spurs and Liverpool, which I think everyone probably would have taken going into it. So... Maybe not. It's only 6. Yeah, it is only 6. At present, it is only 6. It might be 9 after this weekend, and then I think we can have that discussion. But at present, I'm not saying we're cooked yet. We're not cooked yet. I get a little confused here because you really only have 3 players to choose from. Rodri, Nico G, and Nico O'Reilly. I kind of want to see the Rodri Nico G double pivot, personally. Where is he? That's what I would like to see. And then Nori at left back is what I would also like to see. I think he's been very good. Diaz or Kusanov? I don't know, guys. It seems like a lot of people have said Diaz comes right back in. But that does seem harsh on Kadir Kusanov. It does seem very harsh, personally. I know he's been good. He did have a really poor moment to start the second half against Newcastle, if you remember, where they should have scored. He's rash, Kusanov. I'm just talking about his negatives in terms of he's maybe not in the best position all the time, but he's got absolutely blistering pace and strength, which can be a difference maker at times in saving some goal potential opportunities, you know? So there's pros and cons for sure. They still got Chelsea and some somewhat heavy hitters as well. Sunderland upset. I would love a Sunderland upset, everyone. Of course, that would be amazing. Am I banking on that? No. I'm banking on City need this win. We beat Arsenal as well. Then it's 3 points with 11 other games where they just have to drop one loss and we win out, which sounds awful. Sounds awful to say City just win out, but you win out. Do you think Arsenal will drop enough points? I think probably, but will we win out? That's the question I don't know the answer to. That feels unlikely as well. So anything that Sunderland can do to help a draw would obviously be huge. If we're going with this formation, like I said, I mean, the Aït-Nouri up and down this left-hand side is really something I like. He's got some pace. He's actually faster than I would have thought, Aït-Nouri. He's not, Kusanov fast, but he does have some pace in him that I like. For these two dual 10 roles, I think you're looking probably at Tijani Reinders and Ryan Cherky. Maybe there's a shout for Foden. Maybe you could play Foden in this deeper role we're talking about. But I kind of want to protect the back line with 2 really solid defensive midfielders. And then 2 of our best in terms of goal output. Reinders and Cherky are probably the best 2 for that at present. And like maybe Foden can switch for Reinders or Foden can switch for Cherky, but I'm guessing most people will want Cherky there over Foden, and I think Reinders has played better against Newcastle than Foden did personally. Reinders I thought was really good. Really good. Watch Sunderland beat Arsenal and we end up losing. That would be a disaster. The hope and expectation with Kusi is that he matures those aspects of the game and his game will disappear. True. The rash challenges, the being out of position, the over aggression. If that calms down a bit in Husinov, I think you have a banging center back. A banging center back. Like, the traits he has are just so not teachable. The pace is not teachable. The strength is not teachable. He can ping a ball pretty well for a guy that you don't necessarily associate with being really good on the ball, Husinov. So if you reel those in without minimizing what he's really good at as well, you got a really good center back for the future. Whether that's in a couple of years, because he is still young. He's still young for sure. I don't trust Aït-Nouri defensively. Ideally, he doesn't have to do much one-on-one defending really in this game, because he's going to be honestly like this position most of the game. He's going to be here. So this Mo Salah coming down this right-hand side, who is in basically awful form, by the way, can ideally be covered by Rodri and Guehi, more so than Aït-Nouri, I think. It honestly ends up kind of like this. Nunez gets forward, but not quite as much as Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri is like way, way up the pitch. Way up the pitch. And then the front two, I mean, I'm personally doing this. I'm going with Marmoush, and I'm going with Haaland. That's what I want to see. Is it harsh on Semenyo getting dropped? Maybe. I just don't know where he goes, personally. No, Bernardo in this game is difficult. True, Bernardo in this Nico spot or Rodri spot would be very nice, just because he always plays well against Liverpool. He's always good against them. Aït-Nouri is a wingback. It depends who you're playing. Will determine if he starts. Yeah, I mean, you could also just do Nico O'Reilly here if you guys feel more comfortable with O'Reilly at left back. He's better defensively for sure. He didn't have the pace to get forward like O'Reilly does. He ends up coming more in the midfield, O'Reilly, than Aït-Nouri will. Aït-Nouri stays, touchline, left back type situation. Both about midfield three of Nico G, I think you mean, Rodri and O'Reilly. It will help control the middle. You could do that, but we haven't really seen that yet. You haven't seen a Nico G, Rodri, and O'Reilly, let alone you haven't even seen Rodri and Nico G together, It's really been one or the other and then O'Reilly, or one or the other and then Bernardo. It's not been all three of them. We haven't seen that yet. True. O'Reilly is a physical monster. He can cover the field. He can. I do love O'Reilly. He's been much better in the midfield lately, but I still think he's a better left back, probably. I'd prefer O'Reilly in the middle in this team you've set up. That's just my preference over Nico G. Really, over Nico G? I don't know, man. I don't know. Is Diaz starting this game, guys? Is Diaz starting this game? I have no clue. I honestly have no idea if Diaz starts. I feel like he will not start. Not because he's not good enough, but because I just think he's not going to be fit enough to start. Maybe at halftime he comes on if Kuzanov has a questionable half. I don't know if it's going to be Diaz from the jump. I thought we playing that against Spurs, it was Rodri, Silva, and O'Reilly. Was it? Let me look. Let me look here. Let me pull up good old sofa score and see what we did, because I don't remember. My brain isn't as good as some of these guys who can be like, oh yeah, against Brighton 3 years ago, we played the 4-1-2-1-2, whatever, and it was great because on that day, I am not that good at this. So I got this here. How do I go to City? Yeah, City. I don't use SofaScore quite as much, so I'm a bit unfamiliar with how this thing works, but I know you can go to, we'll go to the Spurs game here. And if you scroll down, there is something that says average position of the team somewhere. There it is. Players average position for us. So you have Gehi right next to Rodri with Husinov right there. And then Nunez a bit deeper with Aït-Nouri going forward and O'Reilly there. So it ends up really with O'Reilly, Bernardo. The midfield was just absolutely packed. Let alone, we also did not win this game. So I don't know. Rajat calling out Danny. That fella has mastermind for City Memories. Low key, I wasn't calling out Danny, but Danny does have like an insane memory for exact situations that happen. Like, it is ridiculous. Danny will be like, what's the last time we played this formation? And he's like, oh, it was against Stoke in 2012 in April. And the manager was Pellegrini, and Bonnie scored the game. Bonnie scored. Wilfred Boney scored in the 13th minute. I'm like, brother, I don't remember who scored in the Spurs game. Couldn't tell you. Don't remember. But, yes. So when Nico G came on, who did he come on for in this game? Does it say? Nico G came in for Aït-Nouri. And then that pushed O'Reilly out to left back. So that kind of skews it a bit. Because then you have... I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell, guys. It's kind of hard to tell, to be honest. I don't really know what I'm looking at. Danny is in our chat GPT. He is our chat GPT. Check O'Reilly heat map. Just click on him. Spartacus, what's up? How are you? Check O'Reilly heat map. Oh, look at this. So it looks like he was slightly more advanced in this game. That's the most red area. But was also, this must be his appearance at left back. So the majority of the game, he was more of an attacking, he was that second line of attack. Literally, I know, it is crazy how good Danny is at that stuff. It's like ridiculous. So that's O'Reilly. What about Bernardo? Bernardo's heat map is insane. It doesn't tell me anything. It just tells me he's everywhere. He doesn't play a position. How about Aït-Nouri? He's basically sitting here the whole game. In this Spurs one. What about last game against Newcastle? What did we do? How do you go to that? Newcastle. Let's see this one. So, okay, we're over here. Oh, it's flipped. I hate it when it's flipped this way. I need like the FIFA type goalie at the bottom, striker at the top. I don't enjoy that. I won't even try the Spanish or Portuguese, whatever that is. Hola, amigo. ¿Cómo vai, Spartacus? Hola, amigo. That's Spanish, but Brazil, don't you speak Portuguese? I think. Como vai is maybe Portuguese. I don't know. Nico Riley in this one was more the deep-lying second line. How about Nico G? Same deal. And then you had Phil and Reinders. Reinders was very good in this game as well. And then you have Marmouche and Semenyo. There's no central player, seemingly. It ends up being, I guess, Reinders. Sometimes O'Reilly a bit right there. What did Aït-Nouri do? That's crazy heat map. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, guys, what we specifically do with this thing here. Like, I think this is what I would do. But O'Reilly. Can O'Reilly get in here somehow without taking out Aït-Nouri? That's the question we're having. And I feel like no. I feel like Rodri and Nico G is so solid, even though Rodri is somewhat not playing well. If we're being honest, between these two, I'd probably take out Rodri and do a Nico G O'Reilly double base in this 4-2-2 thing that we're running. How about that? Maybe. And then Marmouche can be like... Marmouche actually probably over on the left in this scenario. Hola, amigos is for both Portuguese and Spanish. Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I'm going to try here, Spartacus. I'm going to try. To bem e voce. To bem e voce. That sounds Italian. Voci. To bem e voci. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm American. I speak one language. That's it. That's it. I'm bad at accents as well. O'Reilly pocketed Salah in the last game. All right, so if we go with Nico O'Reilly here, I feel like you don't need this double pivot then because it's not attacking enough. This is very heavily defensive to me. Voce. Was that wrong, guys? Voce. Voce. Voci. Volque. Guys, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, I just don't know. I have no idea how to pronounce that word. Not a clue. Personally, O'Reilly instead of Tijani, he will not help in winning duels. I think we need to break up the play, keep quick transition will be the keep, and he will also help in set pieces. Reinders was so good, though. Reinders was like low-key man of the match in this game. I don't know. I respect your opinion, Gold Drips, but I lean towards Reinders playing for sure. He could have had 2 goals. He probably should have had 2 goals, to be honest with you. Where's this is what FOTMob predicts over here. They've got us with 4-1-4-1, even though that's not what we're playing. And everybody always comments on my videos, we don't run a 4-2-2, we run a 4-1-4-1. Check FOTMob. Check the websites. I know, guys. I know the websites put this. This is not correct. We run 4-2-2, okay? They just probably don't have 4-2-2 as a setting on this, like, thing. So, they have it as no Marmouche, Reinders and Cherokee in the middle, Rodri O'Reilly double pivot situation. Bro, Keely, how do you speak Portuguese/Spanish? You know? Aren't you from Manchester? How did you... Poderia ser melhor foi bom conversar com os rapazes. Com os rapazes. Poderia ser melhor foi bom conversar com os rapazes. I think I nailed that. But he will not get in the space to run? You don't think so? I mean, why did he have the space against Newcastle but not in this one? Exactly. Why can we not have space in this one? If you run this 4-2-2, why can you not have the space with this formation? I feel like... Keely, you're an Aussie. I had no clue, man. Nice. Cool. I thought you were from Manchester. Because your picture looks like you're at a game. So I just assumed. Does it, trying to look at your picture here. Are you in an Australian kit? Or are you the guy in the other hat and not in the hat? Also, shout out Australia. USA Australia World Cup, by the way. That is happening in like 4 months. So there will be huge City USA versus City Australia situation going on. We'll probably do something, I guess, on Martin's channel for that game, probably, because he's got so many big Aussie supporters and there's City supporters as well. So that's aside the point, but don't you think playing both Roger and Nico G would be sufficient in dual winners? Don't you think we need more attributes? See, that's kind of my take. My tape right there. House captain. That's why I think. What the heck? That's why I think it's Ait Nouri. Yep. I agree. How's everyone feeling? I'm nervous, but I'm always nervous for every single City game at this point in the season. I am not. I'm not at the point where I'm okay with games anymore. I used to be pretty chill going to games because it felt like we were going to beat everybody 5-0. That's kind of how it felt for a while. But now I'm much more nervous and uneasy and ready to vomit before games, I think. If you're going to speak all this foreign lingo, I'm going to go full on mank. My bad. I'm in the hat. It's the City Oasis shirt as I was at the Oasis concert. You're not even at a game, man. Jeez. What do I know? I do love a bucket hat, though, man. I need a bucket hat so bad. I need a City bucket hat that I can wear on stream. And I always wear my hat because that's kind of like I always wear a hat everywhere I go, pretty much. But I would rock a bucket hat, man. I would love a bucket hat. Because they were pressing us high because they needed to score. He was struggling in the second half. I don't think he was struggling. He almost scored in the second half. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. All right, fine, guys. My prediction is Ait Nouri left back. The final decision. I was on Martin and Pat's Blues Down Under first episode. No way. I don't remember that. That was a while ago. He started that so long ago, it feels like. You don't do it anymore, though? You should. You should do it. Going on Martin's channel is always fun. We had space because of Trafford. Gigi can't do what Trafford did, so we won't have as much space. Anytime, I've realized, Spartacus, anytime Trafford, we can say anything positive about Trafford, I feel like you're going to say, Donnarumma can't do it. Donnarumma will not be able to provide the same quality that James Trafford has, etc., etc. So, well, I kind of agree with the general statement that Trafford is better on the ball than Donnarumma. Donnarumma also was pretty good on the ball in the Spurs game in terms of finding players because there was so much space that I could have made the pass, you know? I could have made it. So, I don't know. We'll see. I feel a little less nervous than maybe you, but I get the point. I got the Oasis bucket hat, and my mother stitched a City badge onto it. The mother powers come in clutch. That is sick. Yeah, we can't talk about goalies, guys, when Spartacus is in the chat. We can't. He should do it. Get Keeley back on Blues Down Under. I agree. Next time. Fair enough. That works with me, guys. Anyway, is there anything else going on that we need to discuss? Was there any bit of... That's the wrong scene. My bad. And is there anything else on Twitter that broke? I know there was some talk about Pep, and certain people don't like talking about Pep, but I don't mind. I don't mind discussing the Pep thing. Honestly, I don't mind. Gigi won't be able to provide the passing. That's not fair to expect him to do it. Maybe not. But I feel a little more confident in his passing than I think you do, probably. Let me check City Extra if there's been any other bit of news. Wow. Shout out to the 115 that dropped 3 years ago today. Funny. Anything else that happened recently? Not really. Honestly, nothing. No good City news, man. Oh, Stones is back in training. Is that true? Is that a thing? Interesting. What is it? John Stones. Is that true, guys? Ah, he is. John Stones is back in training. There must have been a video or something. I must have missed that. Cool, cool. Stones back in training. 3 years, and I'm still suffering with the 115. Is John Stones going to ever play again for City? That's a fair question, I think. He's back in training, according to this video. But is he actually going to play ever again? Jeez. Okay. I don't know, guys. I kind of feel like he might be back in a month or so. Maybe in a month. Is that too much to ask for Stones to be able to train for a full month and then get, March he can maybe play in the Carabao Cup final? We could have a Gahey Stones backline potentially. I guess Diaz will be fit as well. I don't know. Those aren't the passes that create the space. The keeper needs to be drawing in a position to make the space for a midfielder. You think we're guilty? Do I think we're guilty? I generally don't, but I don't know the rules. So, it's accounting stuff, guys. It feels like it very much needs to be decided by someone who has an accounting background. Not me, the guy who just loves seeing goals go in. I just love it when we strike a ball and the ball hits the back of the net and the crowd goes crazy. So my opinion on if allegedly 15 years ago, City cooked the books in terms of inflated sponsorships and maybe we paid managers with offshore money. Guys, I have no freaking idea. Not a clue. Just let me see some goals and some wins and some trophy lifts and some beautiful football. I do miss the beautiful, sexy football. That's true. What's there to suffer? Yeah, I mean, it technically really hasn't changed anything, this 115, except for the fact that it's like a bludgeon that people just bang over all of our heads on Twitter. But, generally, who cares? Who cares? I'm sure he'll play at some point. He wants to go to the World Cup. True. He does want to go to the World Cup. But does him playing and getting another injury even risk him not going to the World Cup more than if he just didn't play at all? That's the question. Because John Stones is a shoo-in to be in that squad if fit. If he doesn't play, he'll be fit. If he doesn't play, he goes automatically. The day we get a fully fit squad is the day the world ends, says Luke. True, man. I don't mean to complain. Other clubs have injuries. Spurs had, 12 players out as well. So it does happen to everybody, but it is annoying, man, how many injuries we got. It's annoying. Nico says, I will fight you. I accept your challenge, Nico. I will also fight you. Evening. You good? All good. Good to see. Did you start supporting City when Pep got there? No, Nico, I did not. I actually got to see the Pellegrini days. Those were fun. I did enjoy those. Also, if people want to support City because of Pep, then cool. It doesn't really make a difference to me. But I supported City because of KDB. So I'm an American. I was not exposed to the sport at a young age at all. I started watching it around high school. So, I'm old now, so 2014-ish. But I did see Pellegrini, and I was very happy when we got Pep. So, very, very happy. Just Barrington? Yeah, same. People come in all the time and say stuff, so it doesn't bother me. No problem. We're playing you on the weekend. You'll never walk alone. Well, Nico, I will have you know, my wife's dad is a huge Liverpool fan, and he's here at the house right now, and he will be happy to hear that for sure. He might be watching the stream in another room, so he will be happy to hear that and see the chat from you. To be selected for the World Cup squad, you need to be playing at least some minutes. Do you, though, if you're John Stones? If you're John Stones, he's got like 100 England caps. You might not even need it. You might pick Jordan Henderson, and he never plays. Yeah, big up Keeley. I'm fine. Good to see you. All good. Nice, nice. Yeah, Luke always turns in. It's probably late over there. What is it? It's 8 o'clock. Okay, it's not as late as I thought, but it's probably close to midnight or 1 or something over there. Love to see it. Up the Reds. Never. When will Ake play? I don't see him getting game time after Diaz is back. He will get game time when someone gets injured. Unfortunately, that's probably how it goes. Same for Max Alleyne. Max Alleyne is probably done in terms of meaningful minutes, I would say. Maybe Salford. We get a Max Alleyne appearance. Maybe we get a Ake Alleyne center back partnership for Salford, and maybe we get a Naipan appearance like we talked about, and maybe a star boy Ryan McAdoo appearance, who is my new agenda player, as I am player FC. Ryan McAdoo. That's my new Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob is gone. I got to get a new one. Ryan McAdoo is that one. Did you see the statement about Pep being upset? Yeah, he can't play in the final. I did. I feel like Pep in press conferences, I can't tell if he's joking or not. I would assume they were aware that he couldn't play unless City didn't know the rule. And changing the rule in terms of like now feels crazy to me. So maybe they can change it going into next season, but surely you can't change the rule like 5 weeks before the game. That sounds insane to me. So I kind of think he was joking. Should he be allowed to play? Probably. McAdoo was the new Bob. For me, yes. McAdoo was my new agenda player, who I think is going to be our top new academy guy. Yes. But that's okay. Khaldoon will also decide to replace Pep. He is, I guess, according to reports, he's the main decision maker. I don't think he was joking. I was not joking, guys. I backed Oscar Bob all the way until the day he left this club. I have an Oscar Bob jersey somewhere in my house, over there somewhere, and I'm going to have to get a Ryan McAdoo jersey. I don't even know what number he is, but I hope it's better than 52. I hope he gets a cool number, and I don't have to have a 52 and like a 58 or a 65 kit or some joke, something stupid. Do you think the first Solanke goal was a foul? Yes, 100%. Unfortunately, it was. However, we should have won the game regardless of the foul. So, whatever. Refereeing is bad in England for everyone. He wasn't joking. Oh, I don't think he was joking about the Pep thing. I thought you meant me. Maybe he wasn't joking. He probably feels like he should play because we purchased him in January. I don't know. Like, England has really weird rules, guys. In America, if you make a trade for a player, he can obviously play immediately and play the rest of the way. And if you sign a player, he can play at any time. There's no like, oh, you played for this other team, so now you can't play. So I personally think it's a dumb rule. But I also don't think if the rule is the rule, you can't change it now. You can't be like, hey guys, this rule is crazy. We want it changed before the final. So that's ridiculous. We can't do that. Watch us sell him to Chelsea in a few years. Probably. Didn't we buy him from Chelsea though? McAdoo did come from Chelsea, I think. I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong. I gotta know what number he has. I can't remember. Ryan McAdoo. What number is he? Doesn't say. He's worth $23,000. My local team should buy him. Orlando City. They can surely pay that. Come on. He's got 1 appearance, 1 goal. What number was he, though? I don't remember. The FA Cup, this game. Can I not click on this somehow? For that game? No, whatever. Whatever. Then he will get the medal. 56. That's such a bad number, guys. He's got to get a nice number, like, I don't know, 26 or something. We play Arsenal twice in March. We do. We do. Which is interesting. We could have played him. We could play him another time. I don't know when the next round of the Champions League is, but I mean, we could potentially play him again. Maybe a third. I don't know if that would be March or April, but we'll see. We'll see. I do want to add one thing before we dip, guys. It is something I always do say. I have a Discord channel, which a lot of people have joined. We're past, I think, 30 members now. We're at like 35 or something. It is free. I know not everybody has Discord, but if you're interested in Discord, it's basically all City fans. There's a link right there. You can click it, join the Discord, and we just chop it up every day, pretty much, about what's going on in City life and in world football, and then, you know, IRL as well. If you want to join that stuff, you can. So if you're interested in Discord, it is right there. I was asking about the Gahey medal. Oh, will he get a medal? Probably not. Probably not. I don't know. Not sure. Are you having a stream for the game? Yes, I will have a stream for the Liverpool game on Sunday. So do come back for the live watch along. If you're new as well, hit subscribe. I do appreciate that. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs on the channel, everyone. We get closer every day. We get a couple of subs here, a couple of subs there. We're going to get 1,000 eventually. So very, very cool. Yeah, big up the Discord community. Ash is a valued member of the Discord community. Gold Drips, are you very active there? I will join. Yeah, I'm pretty active, I would say. Are you not in there, Gold Drips? I feel like you're in there. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're not. Yeah, I message in the Discord every day. Told you that we were going to beat Newcastle, by the way. He did. He called a 3-0, which was not correct. It was 3-1, so fail on Ash, always. Nice stream, as always. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate it. If you're interested in, like, my Instagram or Twitter or TikTok, those links are in the channel description as well. But that is it for the stream. Leave a like on the way out. I do appreciate you guys. And I will be back in the next one. If there's some news tomorrow, I'll do another stream. But who knows? We'll see. We will see. Big one coming on Sunday. A must-win for City. So, see you guys.